Hello and welcome to the SuperShow podcast. It's going to feel weird saying that. Maybe we should go, hey guys, welcome to SuperShow podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jamie. That felt a little bit weird as well.
Well, it's done now. We've committed it, so...
I don't like being last.
Yes, welcome to the podcast. Second one that we've ever done.
Indeed. Well...
Kind of.
For this channel.
Ah, yes, our lovely channel. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported us so far. We've hit 2,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel in 1 week.
It's over 2.5 now. Genuinely incredible. Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's over 2.5 on our YouTube.
I think you're talking a bullshit.
No, I checked it this morning.
I think you're talking a bullshit.
They've both been refreshing every hour because that's the sad little lives they live.
Hey, that's what happened.
Do you know what is funny, right? Is that I've been more excited about these last 2,500 subs than I was excited about the last 300,000 that we did on our previous channel.
It's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, SuperShow is now up to 2.5k subs in 1 week.
You know what's even weirder? In this week, we've made more gains on this than we did in like 3 months of the other channel.
Yes.
I think if we'd gained 1 subscriber, we'd be gaining more than what the other channel. Are we? That's what we're calling it now. The other channel.
No, it's all-time gaming.
But
we know who we are.
Don't unsubscribe.
I don't want to be
No, don't unsubscribe. It's still a repository for all of our
it's an
delicious content.
Yeah, it's an archive. Head there, check out some old school stuff, and laugh at what we used to be like.
Anyway, listen. 2019 coming to an end. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of all the baggage. We're going into 2020 light as a feather, as it were.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
more than a few feathers on this side of the table.
hey, listen. A ton of feathers still weighs a ton.
That's what you're trying to say.
don't
Saying Jamie weighs a ton.
I don't know.
That is outrageous.
Well, yeah, maybe one day.
Can confirm he does not weigh a ton. All right. So I thought for this podcast, or this episode of the podcast rather, let's talk about what we are anticipating next year.
Okay.
All right. So I've got a list of games here.
That sounds good.
Okay. So just in case we miss anything off the list. But I think let's just have a free-form discussion for 2020. Because you know what? 2018, shit year. 2019, still a shit year.
You know how I feel about 2019. I think it was I think it wasn't as bad as people.
It wasn't as bad as 2018.
I don't think it was as bad as people
2018 was
remember.
much better than 2019. Much better.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Well, different perspectives. There we go. Can we all agree, though, that we need to make 2020 our bitch?
2020 is going to be amazing.
2020 has the potential to be one of the best years in gaming, maybe ever.
Delicious.
I actually tweeted when the result for the Brexit thing came out.
Oh my God, it's gone political already.
No,
I was hoping we'd at least
not
get to
that.
like episode 7.
What is it? The election.
50.
When the results of the general election, and I just said to people, doesn't matter whether you're happy, sad, whatever. Let's all remember that coming out in 2020 is the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, Last of Us Part 2, Cyberpunk 2077, and Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh my God.
So forget what's going on in the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
Gaming is going to be a hell of a year.
It's going to be a fucking golden year.
Unless games start costing £70, in which case it might be hard to cut the ties between.
Fuck, you know, for the...
They're not all Nintendo games, don't worry.
Yeah, for the next generation, I mean, it's entirely possible.
Well,
can we start off with... No, I better not start off in a downer. Not a downer, but...
Well, you don't want to end on a downer either.
yeah, sometimes you break the bad news early.
Well, no, I was just going to... So for Switch...
It's like negative reinforcement, right? Like,
okay, so no, it's just a little gripe about sort of the Switch. And I do love what the games that come out...
Can we have a mini segment called Jonesy's State of the Switch?
State of Switch.
I love my Switch. I think I'm similar to
too.
you guys in that it's such a great little console to sort of pick up, carry about, take with you. But I'm genuinely blown away by how expensive some of the games are on that.
Oh, yeah, and Nintendo just doesn't fucking drop, do they?
They don't, and they stay that way for years. So I just finished playing Luigi's Mansion 3, which I luckily did not have to buy, thanks to...
Thanks, ATG.
Thanks, ATG. I managed to play it before the end of the channel. Had a fun with it, enjoyed it. It's a solid game, but...
Had a fun with it.
Had fun with it. It's a lot of money, though, for the game that it is.
So that was £45, I think.
Yeah. That feels like a lot.
But we were looking on Amazon.
Having finished it feels like a lot.
Okay.
Maybe that's because I didn't enjoy it as much as some other people would have done.
Yeah,
in which
maybe.
case it's totally the game for them. But it feels like, we were saying about this, it feels like it could have been a mobile game.
Yes.
what you two were saying about this, you'll have noted that I didn't say anything during that
No, because
conversation.
you did make the point that you couldn't run it on a mobile. It wouldn't run. The graphics cards and stuff aren't good enough on mobile phones.
Well, I think Luigi's Mansion, you probably could have gotten away with it.
It's a very pretty game, so I do wonder. But yeah, it just seems a lot. A full price game, it seems a lot.
I said, imagine if a phone came out made by Nintendo with those little switch rails on
I
the
love
sides,
that.
and
Is
then
the
you
best
just take
idea.
the Joy-Cons from your Switch and you just slide them
It's
in.
the best idea you've ever had.
Hell yeah.
I would buy a Nintendo phone that worked like that.
Me too.
I think some people do make kind of weird attachments that look like that, but it's not.
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
Razer's phone has they've basically just ripped off the Switch.
That's
But
the
yes,
thing, physical buttons. That's all we need on mobile phones now.
yeah. But you guys are right. Like missing, I guess, what you were getting at is missing from the slate of upcoming games that we're going to be talking about. Nintendo exclusive. We just don't know. No. There's no Mario.
There's an Animal Crossing.
There's an
which
Animal Crossing.
A lot of people care about. I don't,
A lot of people don't.
but a lot of people do.
Yeah, but I feel Nintendo, they always kind of keep their cards, their Hanafuda cards, close to their chest.
Like they could drop Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever that's called this year. They could drop Metroid Prime 4 this year. They could drop Bayonetta 3 this year.
I mean, they won't
they won't, but they could.
theoretically.
I bought my wife a 3DS Animal Crossing version, special edition,
Right.
and she went, "Why the fuck did you buy me this?"
Really?
Wow.
I was like, "I
jeez.
thought you'd think it was cute," and she was like, "It's I don't play Animal Crossing."
So
I was
Jonesy's
like,
single now, and he's
Wow.
available on the market.
do you know what she did? She made me take it back and get her a different one.
Classic.
That is unreal.
But like, what was so bad? It was just had leaves on it, didn't it? Like, if I recall it correctly.
No, it wasn't just. I think it was a few other things as well, but it was fine. It was. I just thought she'd think. I knew she didn't really play Animal Crossing. She plays Pokemon, but I thought
like
she'd think
nice
it was
design,
cute.
yeah.
I thought she'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is fine," but no, she genuinely was like, "Take this back and get me a proper one."
Wow, demanding.
Strong reaction.
What was the proper
She
one you
didn't
got?
swear, to be
Do you
fair. I
remember?
added that for flavour. Just the slate grey.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then I had the nice dark blue.
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, Jamie, let's start off with you. What's your what are you anticipating the most? Just at the top of your dome.
For me, I don't even know if it's my most anticipated, but one of the games I can't get past for 2020 is Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
And I think that's because it was meant to be out. Like, that was meant to be my game of the year.
Yeah, didn't they like delay it like a month before it was meant to come out? or
It
something?
wasn't long.
It was like really close.
So we should have been playing it already. It should have been my game of the year.
But you have played it.
I have played it. We played it at QuakeCon,
And you played it, Jonesy?
No, I haven't played it yet. No.
Didn't you
It was
play it?
Steph. Steph played it at Gamescom, and Roisin and I played it
Yeah.
at QuakeCon.
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either. Hmm.
But I love the demo that they put out. I love everything they're saying about that game, especially even just in terms of the story and the way they're trying to almost incorporate more angelic, like heaven-like elements into the
Oh,
story.
yeah,
Right.
That sounds really interesting to me. The increased weapon variety, increased demon variety. I really liked what they're doing with that game.
It's cool that they are backfilling it with story, because obviously for the longest time Doom didn't have much of any story going on.
Yeah.
So to kind of do that is an interesting move.
But it's almost like they know their audience, right? They know that people aren't going to take the Doomslayer and his setup seriously.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy who, at the beginning of the Doom 2016, he wakes up naked in like a stone tomb, rips out of these chains, smashes a demon's head, and then just puts on some suit and spends the rest of the game like punching screens and getting angry.
Well, it's like the No Clip documentary, right? Where Hugo was like,
Yeah.
hey, it's fucking ridiculous. There's a screen there that says demonic invasion in progress. And he's like, someone had to program that.
Yeah. I just like the bit where they're doing the kind of the modern take of the Doom theme, the metal version,
Oh,
where
yeah,
he's
yeah.
in the lift and he cocks a shotgun right on the last beat of the track. And I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
these guys know what they're doing. And I think they're going to continue to know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
That
into
game
next
gets
year.
you hyped, man.
Man, it gets my dick hard.
It's one of the few titles as well and franchises that gets cooler with every release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often it goes the other way. Like you always chasing that first release, and you're always chasing that thing that it was initially, and you never quite pull it off in some respects.
Is it because it's not like a Doom game doesn't come out often?
Yeah, maybe, but then I feel like they did the inverse than like Duke Nukem did, because Duke Nukem had the opposit problem, as everyone remembered how amazing it was, and then obviously we got Duke Nukem, the new one was
Yeah, because you
awful.
remembered how amazing it was when you were 8 years old, and then when it came out and you were 30, you were like, actually,
I'm not entertained by using urinal anymore, weirdly enough.
Because Doom 2 was like the game for me as a kid. It was the first game I ever played on like PC, and it was my uncle at the time taught me what like a BFG was. It was the first time I'd heard anyone swear and things like that. I had all these
BFG.
cool things from when I was a kid.
It had chewed.
Yeah, and it was one of the. It was this really cool thing. And then, but no, and Jamie and I spoke this before. I wasn't that into the 2016 one, but it's still such a cool. I get why people love it.
Man, the 2016 game.
I want to love it more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good game. It's worth loving, and that thing plays like butter.
Smooth as even on consoles. I felt
Smooth
like I was
AF.
smooth AF. I felt like I was drifting through that environment, glory killing my way.
Glory holing your way through hell.
No,
Yeah,
not glory hole.
yeah,
I'm
you
not
were.
Steph
You were.
Murphy.
You were glory holing it.
I mean, I don't think you ever actually see the Doomslayer's dick, but it's heavily implied that he fucks.
yeah.
It is. See, my only problem with it is the
He's
lack
actually
of
an
story.
amputee. He's actually only got one leg.
Oh, wow.
But he just puts his dick through the
He's
other leg
very
hole.
mobile for a one-legged man. I mean, I've seen some very keen like
Oh, like
one-legged men.
one leg, one dick.
Yeah,
That's how
exactly.
he
He
walks.
uses
one leg,
his
one dick.
dick as a peg leg.
Wow.
Peg leg dick.
How long is it?
Well,
It's-
leg
It
length.
touches the ground.
Leg length.
Yeah, leg length. It's even got little toes.
But how would you? How would you? You
One
can't
big
support the
toe-
weight
one
of a
big
man.
toe.
It would snap.
Mate, you can.
Dude,
Mate,
Can
listen.
that thing snap?
In the sequel
I
to...
I believe so.
Yeah, of course
It
it
would
can.
just snap in half.
Yeah.
No, I think it not like breaks in two pieces. It's just
Yeah.
like it can. I think it can break though. Like
Yeah.
rupture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't want to think about it.
Oh,
Why did
okay.
you bring that up?
Well, anyway, yes, Doom Eternal. I'm looking forward to it. That's coming out on the 20th of March, just FYI, for those of you who want to know.
Yeah,
I'll be
my
dropping
brother's
some release
birthday.
dates.
That's my brother's birthday.
You going to get it for him?
No. That dude plays FIFA and FIFA only.
Wow.
Maybe it's the game to transition him into real games.
Transition him into something, all right? But not a non-FIFA player.
Well...
A man.
Okay. I like Doom. I like Doom Eternal, and I like everything they're doing.
You don't have to pan it to me, Chris.
Yeah,
I'm not going to buy it.
I'm not gonna buy
I don't
it.
care.
I
You're not either, and if you do, you're a sham.
No, he is. You know what? He's going to buy
No,
it. And he's
I
going
know.
to play the
We-
first level, and then never go to it again.
I will because. So I like the game, the gunplay and everything from
2016.
2016, and I enjoyed the how that all felt. I then really liked Rage 2, which is from the guys who did the gun stuff and that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
It was because it's id. Were
It was id, but it was also Avalanche.
so it was a combination of the
Yes.
two, but there was definitely a feel of, their sort of
Their gunplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I'll grant.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that shotgun felt good in the same way that Doom shotgun could be said. To
I mean, it
felt
didn't
good.
feel like a Doom game, but it felt goddamn solid, and I enjoyed the feel that they
Goddamn
had.
solid.
But my issue with Doom was always that they don't have enough story and drive and why I'm doing it. It's just like enjoy killing everything.
Well, yeah, what do you need? Just kill
I'll
demons.
be
That's
honest,
what
yeah.
it's about.
No, I just need something to keep me going.
For me, I didn't need the adrenaline of killing demons was what kept me going. Like the way that metal thrashed, how good the guns felt, how gory it was, the glory kills. Also, it just felt like every firefight was super intense and kind of difficult, but also manageable.
Right.
Yeah.
In a way that felt like these mini skirmishes almost.
Well, it's that's always forward design, right?
Yes. Because you had to.
Let's go for the glory kills.
Well, they've doubled down that even more so now, where there's like different varieties of ways you kill enemies to get different things. So if you need health, armor, ammo, chainsaw things, like every way of killing a demon gives you something in return.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you have to be like, I need shields, so I'm going to use my flamethrower, then kill them because that's what makes them drop shields.
Right.
I need health, I'll do a glory kill. I need ammo, I'll use my chainsaw, and so on and so forth.
It's a very weird take on like an arcade shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's super arcadey, the new one. You get big floating question marks and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, it's going back to the old school.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal.
All right, yeah. Doom Eternal. Jonesy?
I probably will get it, but then
Oh, what game? What other game? We've moved
What
on.
will
we've
you
moved
do?
on
sorry.
from Doom
What will you
now.
definitely get
Oh,
then?
come on. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
So,
Come on
are you
now.
going to keep your
Pre-order.
reservation
Oh,
for
yeah.
your collector's edition?
I am.
Yes.
Well, no, I am. Of course I am.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to have... We're going to be... Yeah.
I think I've mentioned before that I've been saving up anyway, and I've got a little wallet on my Monzo account, just ticking away to get so that I can
little war
afford it
chest.
when it comes
Until,
out.
what was it came out that you spent it all on? Death Stranding or something?
Yes, I spent 50 quid of that on Death Stranding.
Ah.
Which, you know...
I've got money left. It's all
fine.
good.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, I'm with you on Cyberpunk. I think that is it's probably my number one most anticipated for next year.
I mean, yeah, for me, 100%. It's weird with Cyberpunk though, because I'm at the point now where I'm either gonna get more invested and I'm gonna go like I said, keep my reservation for the super special edition. I'm gonna go hell for leather. I'm gonna just think about that until it comes out, or I'm gonna fall off it hard because I'm gonna be like, hey, it's not gonna be as good as I hope. Surely. Yeah, well, I'm in. I like the hope. It's like buying a lottery ticket. You know you're not going to win when you do that.
You know what's interesting?
But it's the hope.
So you saw the demo at E3 last year.
Yes, E3 2018.
Okay.
The first behind closed doors demo.
Yeah, and then we saw the next behind closed doors demo at Gamescom this year.
2019.
Did you see any of the presentations?
I don't believe so. No.
They released cut down versions on YouTube.
Oh, so I saw those.
But the interesting thing about it is that you saw those and you still are so sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm going to be. I don't think it's going to be a controversial take, but I'm going to say I'm very much looking forward to Cyberpunk, and I hope it is everything we all want it to be. But for me, it's not as big as or an easy of a surefire shot as Doom Eternal is. I just know too much about Doom Eternal, and I've played it.
Oh, yeah.
Cyberpunk is still this kind of weird,
known quantity versus unknown quantity. Yeah,
like,
sure.
Will that shooting feel good? Because sometimes it doesn't look like it will.
Shooting makes
will
me
the
feel
writing
good.
be consistent? Because hey, The Witcher 3 was great, but I fell off that story.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. So those are the concerns that I have, but I'm at the point now where I'm still so into it because it could be.
Well, from the demo that we saw, the behind closed doors thing, it did feel like falling into the trap that The Witcher had with some of its mission structures.
Right.
Which was go to person tells you to go to place, that place has a person that tells you to go to a person, that tells you to go to another person, then you go back to the original person and he tells you to go to another person.
Yeah.
It's like, and in between that, it's like gunfights and shit like.
That's what I didn't like about the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
I was just walking from person to person, having conversations that I eventually didn't find funny.
Fair
Again,
enough.
I know that's an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is that Inception-esque of fetch quests that those sorts of games can fall into, where you're constantly trying to appease someone by doing other things, and it can just.
Man, I don't care. It could be fucking. As long as it looks like it does, and it does the stuff that it sets out to do, the story could be fucking My Little Pony for like give a shit.
What
like,
platform are you going to try and play it on?
PC.
Are you sure it will run all right on your hardware?
Yeah, it should be okay.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a 1060. If I need to, I can bump up some RAM, and it should be all right. My processor's strong. Don't question me.
I'm just saying because I mean, not to call you out or anything, but you're kind of a laptop boy.
I am a laptop boy, and
well, one day I'm going to be a desktop man with Jonesy.
Well, I'll probably join you. We'll get a desktop.
We'll look down on you and laugh on you and spit on you.
Wow.
So I tell you that this is really sad. Is my intention. So I've pre-ordered the PlayStation 4 Super Special Limited Edition version.
What PlayStation? Oh, for Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought you meant a PlayStation 4, like the console. I was like,
no, I've pre-ordered that version of the limited edition.
Yeah, okay.
However, I'm also going to buy the PC version to play it at its maximum.
He's going to do what he did with Control.
What did you do with Control?
What did I do with Control?
You bought Control on PlayStation.
Yeah.
When we had a copy on the Epic Store that you could have played.
Oh, right.
I played it.
Yeah.
I played it on that. It was awful because you had to use keyboard and mouse and it was horrible.
Have you never heard about connecting a controller to your PC?
It wasn't optimized for controller. So I tried to use the PlayStation 4 controller on Steam and it wasn't optimized
It's
for
not Steam, it's Epic Store.
Sorry, Epic Store. And I couldn't map keys. So effectively you could use the keys that were assigned and it was awful.
You're mad. Listen.
It didn't work. It genuinely
you want
didn't
to talk
work.
about my little laptop, all right?
Yeah.
I played that game with ray tracing. Did you? No. So, fuck off.
I just remember when you brought in your Fallout 4 footage one time that you captured for us for the end of the year, and it was at like 12 frames a second, and it was your game of the year that year, and I was like, oh. I didn't say anything because I was too scared.
That's because it was my old laptop and because I was capturing on the same hardware that I was playing the game. And it's like,
this is...
Do you know what I'm hearing, Jonesy? Excuses.
Oh.
This is the truth. Is the reason Chris watches everything on YouTube on 2x speed is because he plays all his games on half speed. So he has to try and make up the difference somehow.
But Cyberpunk, man, it looks so fucking cool.
It's
like the Doom thing, right? It's got attitude.
Yes,
it has. Yeah.
And I really hope that open world feels, not to use cliche terms, but living and breathing in a way that we come to expect from other open world games. Really.
definitely.
I don't want to put people off, but one thing I felt about it, which is a massive positive to me, was the world of Cyberpunk 2077 feels a little bit like the world of Ready Player One.
Yeah, yeah, I can get that.
And I'm so on board. Maybe crossed with a bit of Altered Carbon, and I'm so on board for that. That is like the future I want to live in.
Well, to be fair, did you see the last Cyberpunk trailer?
Where the
one where he gets in the DeLorean and Tracer's in the passenger seat.
Yes, that looks wicked.
I'm joking.
No, the DeLorean's in it. There is a DeLorean.
No,
not
I said
really.
Tracer's in the passenger seat.
Oh, no.
And they drive through the Iron Giant's legs.
No, but there is a DeLorean.
No,
I'm pretty sure there's a DeLorean.
I don't think there's a DeLorean.
It's DeLorean-esque, but it's their own.
Oh, it
design.
looks like a DeLorean.
I was just trying to make it.
He's making a Ready Player One joke.
No, that's what I was. So you can have a DeLorean in it. Like, well, it looks like a DeLorean anyway. But
That
no,
car looks cool. Yeah, that car looks sick.
I thought you meant Tracer, some character that I don't know who they are from.
Oh,
this
no.
thing.
I
Are
was
you
just
talking about
trying
Tracer from Overwatch?
Judge is like, yeah, it looks sick.
No, but
You got owned. Just accept it.
And I said they drive through the Iron Giant.
I misunderstood what James was saying, but there is a trailer, or a gameplay trailer, where you get into it looks like a DeLorean, and then you drive around with someone, and you go into like the little
Rick Ross.
No, it's not that one. It's where you get into the car with the woman.
It's your chulo guy.
And you go to an area where you, or maybe it was like a 20 minutes of gameplay or something, but you go to it's sort of like an underpass area where you've got like hobos and stuff hanging out.
Oh yeah, that was the cut down trailer from
Oh right,
Gamescom.
okay.
Right,
so that would be the car in the first trailer, the one with the brake lights are like lines.
staggered ones.
But I swear it looks like a
Fucking cool.
DeLorean. Looks like a future DeLorean.
Yeah, it's a DeLorean-esque.
Oh, you see, I thought you were talking about that, but you've no.
Jonesy, you just got hashtag owned. That's
Owned.
what the
So,
kids are saying.
I can be owned up and down when it comes to Cyberpunk.
Oh,
I don't care.
All right.
Okay,
What you do
all
with your
right,
wife
calm
is
down.
none of my business.
It looks incredible.
The big question is, you're going to play as male V or female V?
Male V.
Female V.
Female all the way.
You two are cucks, man.
Hell yeah.
I was genuinely annoyed that the model that comes with the special edition is the male version of
Yeah,
the
we were
guy.
saying you should be able to choose, right?
You should be able to choose.
I don't know. I am a man and I like to be a man.
I'd agree with you, but everything I saw of that game originally was the female V. So when they switched it, it would be like playing Mass Effect as a female, because Shepard to me is a guy.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about that.
So
That
everything
makes my head hurt.
So everything I ever wanted to play was like,
Shep.
I'm male Shep. This to me is like, there is no male V.
Yeah,
I think that's
you're
female
female
V.
I'm with you on
That's
that
the
one.
main argument, right?
Yeah.
But then they kind of switched it, and then
Yeah, weirdly they
stuff
switched
from this year was a dude.
Yeah.
Yes, where he goes into where he then meets the dude with the he's got the arms. He meets the crazy hacker woman who tries to fry him, and they shoot him.
Right.
up.
So it's Rick Ross.
And you see your guy
betrays him, and
Who's your friend in it? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name, but that's the thing.
He's the chulo guy.
He's
Jackie.
Jackie.
Yeah.
He's really important in all the stuff from 2018, and
Yeah.
he dies in the trailer in 2019.
Yeah.
It's mad.
I wonder if that's part of the whole thing of this game is you sort of create the story as you go. And
like how
actually,
branching it
maybe
gets.
Jackie
Maybe.
doesn't die for a lot of people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I remember they also showed all the weird stuff where you're getting in like that bathtub full of ice, and it's like,
and you're jacking into this like Matrix thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks cool, man. Like it's got a lot going for it, and I hope it's okay. The thing is, like when Witcher 3 launched, it did launch kind of buggy.
Yeah,
they
that's
fixed
true.
it eventually. I just hope people kind of go into it understanding that that's what's going to happen. Anyway, well, that might happen. I'm going to talk about a game that I'm really excited for next year. I mean, besides Cyberpunk, it's Final Fantasy VII Remake.
It's a big one for you.
It is a big one. Just on Cyberpunk though, out on the 16th of April. Can't come
Not
soon
even
enough.
that long.
It's not even that long.
The front
what she
end of
said.
next year is so fucking stacked.
You see the front end of me.
Well, okay, yeah. So Final Fantasy VII Remake on the 3rd of March. I can't
You've played
wait.
it already, haven't you?
Yeah, I played at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Dude, we went to Gamescom and we went to, like in the morning, to the little PlayStation area.
Yeah.
There was a Death Stranding thing there. We're like, oh, Jamie, should we go to Death Stranding? There was a queue like out across the fucking block. We're like, no,
All the way
never.
to Japan.
Yeah, all the way to Japan. It was ridiculous. They were taking Kojima like in the mosh pit, just getting in there. And then they had like Iron Man VR, which had just as long a line. We're like, oh, fucking why?
What? Iron Man VR?
Yeah,
Yeah.
PlayStation VR Iron Man thing.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that.
They showed it at the first ever State of Play.
Yeah, that was like.
Oh,
their-
not that horrible, janky looking crap.
Yep, Jonesy. Let me rephrase it. The only Iron Man VR on the
Oh,
market.
do you know what? I'd actually blocked it out of
yeah,
my memory.
fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the third queue that was like, there's no way you're getting in this. That's like a 5-hour queue. Was Final Fantasy VII. So I'd resigned myself. I was like to Jamie and Steph. I was like, guys, fuck man, that's a real bummer for me. I thought maybe I could.
Do you mind if I
Yeah.
He cried.
I cried.
I wasn't gonna, let people know, but honesty's important.
It was a lot.
Real men cry, all
Yeah,
right?
but that wasn't the weirdest part on it.
Go on.
So I started crying, and then Steph, he cupped my balls. He just cupped
tenderly?
him. He cupped him. He said,
Or harshly
no,
to stop
tenderly,
crying.
just very tenderly cupped him and said, everything's going to be all right. And from that moment on, I've never been happier.
Apparently, Steph's dad had taught him that as a coping mechanism, and she hasn't been able to get it out of his sister ever
God.
since.
Anyway, it came to the end of that day, and for some reason we found ourselves back at the PlayStation area, and there was no one in this queue, and I was like, oh, it's probably closed. But I saw like one person playing. I was like, maybe it's just the dude who's like checking out the booth.
Right.
And I thought, well, let me go and like try and smooth talk him and see if I can get it. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to smooth talk the students. Like, oh no, it's still open.
Just go play it.
Just go play it over there. I was like, yeah. Sure.
We had that the year before though, because Jamie didn't believe me that I'd played loads of games because I said I just walked up and played it.
Yeah.
I remember now because I had an appointment to go and play Sekiro. Ironically,
Yeah.
I don't know why they sent me for that, but
my game of the year.
Exactly.
I'm repping you today.
Okay, this
Oh,
is
it's a Sekiro t-shirt for people listening on the
Yes.
podcasts, which, by the way, we will set up eventually.
Yes. So everyone's watching the video for now.
Hey.
But I was playing Sekiro,
Yeah.
and I came out of that appointment, and I found Jonesy playing Spyro, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Jonesy playing Spyro wasn't out yet by that point.
Yeah.
And I said, what else did you? And he goes, oh, I played Kingdom Hearts 3. And I went...
Yeah,
So
no, you didn't.
I was convinced he'd got confused. Because I was like,
To be fair, it could easily have. Well, as we've just demonstrated, it can easily happen.
I would never have put it to you to say that you would have ever have wanted to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Do you know what I wouldn't have done? Was it not for the fact that there was no one there?
No queue, yeah.
There was no queue.
That's
and you
fair,
could
yeah.
walk up and
If you're
play
going to
it.
kill time, like...
And it's never been I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game before, but you'd heard so much
But hey,
about it. And
listen,
3 coming
you know
out,
what's in
like,
Kingdom Hearts?
What?
Final Fantasy VII. You know what's cool about Final Fantasy VII? The remake. It's so good.
It looks
And
incredible.
You know
I
what
will
was,
give you that. It
you know
looks
what was
fantastic.
really good for me? Like, obviously, I'm sold on it. Like, from the moment they even announced it, however many fucking years ago. Even that PS3 demo, that technical demo, that were like, oh, look what we could do with the PS3. Recreate the opening scene of Final Fantasy VII. It's like, release the game, you motherfuckers. But anyway, I'm glad they didn't because it looks fucking amazing now. But what really kind of made me happy was Jamie and Steph got to play it as well.
Okay.
And I know that Jamie is not a Final Fantasy fan. But
True.
But he came out of that and he said, you know what, that was fun.
Okay.
It was
Because
fun.
they remixed the fighting a bit. Like,
Yeah, I just thought that hybrid combat system where you're kind of, there's the real-time elements, but then you're kind of also going into the turn-based stuff,
Yeah.
just choosing what you use.
yeah, like everything slows down. So it's still moving, but it slows down while you're going through your menus and saying, oh, you know what, I'm going to use this fireball on this dude.
Yeah,
It
and
is-
you
it is a
build up
weird
meter
system.
by doing regular attacks.
The Final Fantasy system, like, because I played 15. And,
Yeah.
and
It's-
that
it's
was-
different.
It
This
was
this
weird.
is not like that.
Yeah, it's
Well,
different.
okay.
Yeah.
And I just thought that the combat was fun and it looked pretty. And Final Fantasy VII is a apparently legendary story that I've never heard
100%,
before.
yeah, it's
So,
amazing.
You know, I'm down for that.
I'm just curious as to how they're gonna chop it up. So this first one is effectively like an episode 1, where it's gonna take place in Midgar City, but that's about like, I don't know, a quarter of the game maybe,
Right.
Depending on how you want to play it, because
Do you think it'll be episodic and they'll release?
yeah, that's what they're saying,
Okay.
but they haven't really explained the scope of the episodes other than episode 1 is going to be up until the end of Midgar City. But the thing is, when you leave Midgar, that's when it becomes open world and you can go anywhere. So I don't know how they're going to kind of deal with
It'll be
that.
a very different episode then from episode 1 to episode 2, especially for people that like myself who haven't played Final Fantasy VII before.
Yeah,
If I do get on that, then I imagine it'll feel
Yeah.
quite
And-
odd
and-
going
and
from
also,
that
like,
to that.
how much time in between episodes are you going to take? How much time is it going to take to finish an episode?
Right.
There's a lot of question marks, but I'm so fucking on board. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, thank God we're no longer working on all-time gaming, because how am I going to play all of these games?
Yeah, that is the one upside of all everything that's happening is we're going to have more time than usual.
In the meantime, the other notable game to come out in March, so obviously Final Fantasy VII and Doom Eternal, is Half-Life Alyx. Alex Jones. Half-Life Alyx Jones.
Half-Life Alyx Jones.
I wish.
Hey, it looked incredible. I really want to play a full-fledged, full-length VR game, and I'm sure a Half-Life game is the one. They're the guys who are going to do it the best. Anybody could do it.
Yeah, you'd think so, right? Because they're the ones who've put the most money in R&D for VR.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely looks promising. I can't wait till we see just a little bit more.
Right.
There was Adam Savage's Tested channel had a 30-minute kind of like hands-on video on it. So I haven't watched it.
I flicked through it.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I wanted. From
So maybe a little bit
stage.
more technical coverage than anything else.
It was just a couple of dudes talking about their time with the game, which is great for them.
Right.
I haven't played it though, so
It was meant to be at Game Awards, some more stuff shown off, and then the rumor was from Valve News Network that they didn't have smooth locomotion movement
so they
ready, so they didn't want to show off teleportation.
So that is one thing about the video untested.
Yeah.
Is that you do see off-screen gameplay, like you see the person in the foreground gameplay in the background on the screen, and they're teleporting at least some of the time.
Yeah. Well, because this is the thing. So
that's what I really don't want.
but you say that. But a lot of people have been coming out saying about Boneworks, how it's a great game, but even the most like ardent VR fan who never gets sick at anything gets sick at that. Because what Boneworks did is they had smooth locomotion movement.
Right.
And they kind of pushed it as far as you could possibly push it within a acceptable range, and people are not liking it.
I was listening to a podcast on the way in this morning, and there's a guy on that podcast who has like been using VR since, well, he's had every sort of headset that's gone to retail and doing press stuff and preview stuff for years, and he got to the point eventually where he wanted to find things that made him sick because like nothing really bothered him, and he's having trouble with that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know why necessarily, but he said it was making him feel hot in a way that he didn't really like.
It's the hot panics. I know it all too well.
The traversal is always the issue for me with VR games. Is always the thing because so I played a bit of Fallout 4 in VR, and the teleportation in that is nasty.
Yeah.
And the movement, like because you can just push a stick and walk around, that just feels kind of like redundant.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
So Half-Life Alyx is going to have a bunch of options for movement, but
the best game for locomotion still in VR, Adrift.
Yeah.
Because you float, you don't need to walk, and you have a jet, and it all works. It's
that's what it is, right?
Brain.
The disconnect between your legs and movement. If your arms are moving you, then
it's rough.
No
Even
problem.
like Sprint Vector was a really novel way of coming up with movement.
Oh, the skiing, yeah. I forgot about Sprint Vector. Sprint Vector was quality, yeah.
It was running with your arms. It's a very cool, novel thing. I love that because that was supposed to be a like the next online like e-sport thing. People running around like I have not heard anyone talk about.
I just loved watching you play it because you were just flailing your limbs left and right and centre. It was
great to just have an outside perspective.
Yeah, didn't even care about. I still don't know what the game looks like because I was just watching you writhe around in pain.
Well, hopefully, I'm going to be playing a lot more VR.
Look,
in the year, so.
I just want to know the story. Like
that too.
You know, like I'm sure the gameplay will be really fun and satisfying, and of course, I'm looking forward to that. But it's a Half-Life story. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What is it going to do? It's weird because it's obviously a prequel to an interquel, whatever. It's kind of weird. Anyway,
interquel.
Any other games you guys excited for? I've got a couple
from the whole. Well, I can see from your list there is one that jumps out to me, which is Dying Light 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm super psyched for.
Doesn't have a concrete release date yet, but it's hopefully going to be in and around that period.
It's slightly one of those worrying ones because they're trying to do something so big in the sense of, the open world, open story kind of gameplay. And, you build the world as you go. And that's got to be horrendous for actually nailing down a release date.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're like, have you finished it? We thought we had, but then we realised we'd actually, there's 30 other branches that you can go down that we haven't
we haven't even touched it. The thing that worries me about it is when they first showed it off, where it was like the water pump thing, and
they've shown that off so many times now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, dude,
always
like,
the same thing.
Come on, Techland, what's next?
We've got a mission where you decide whether it's like, oh god, it's the same one.
It's like, is it just going to be like the same mission over and over again, just different coat of paint? Yeah. Oh, there's no beer in this town,
but it is up this big tower. It's the same.
And so many games in the past have got away with doing the thing of the press cycle is all about how much the story can change based on your decisions, and it doesn't matter that much when the game comes out. And they hired Chris Avellone to write it, which is, implies at least that they're trying to take it seriously. But who knows? That last gameplay demo they put out, the one that was quite long,
where you have to make the decision whether to save your guy or catch the van.
I think it was shown behind closed doors at E3 or Gamescom or something, and then they released it after the fact. I wasn't blown away by that. For some reason.
I think it was more from what I'd already seen, it was more of the same, and it was that sense of they were really obviously trying to push, oh, you can leave your guy here at the hands of somebody who's potentially a bad dude, and then you find out that the guy you leave him with is actually the guy that probably did him in.
Yeah.
If you've seen the trailer.
Sounds like an episode of EastEnders.
It sounds like The Walking Dead.
Or you go and catch the van before it makes it back to the compound, get in the van, and then make the guy get you through the gate, which gets you into the compound, and then you sneak through and try. And so it's an interesting. It was a completely different part they showed, but it comes right after the water tower mission.
Right.
Yeah, but you see,
It's
my
just
issue
a
with
little
all of
copy
these
of
kind of systems, right? It's like what's called Occam's razor, where the simplest solution is usually the correct solution.
Right.
But in terms of relating it to the gameplay like this, people are just going to gravitate towards whatever's easiest. Like whenever you play a game, it's like, oh well, you can tackle this with diplomacy or stealth or you just shoot them in the face.
I'll shoot them in the face.
90% of people are going to shoot them in the face.
I don't know if I agree. But
You're the 10% of people.
Purely based on the Outer Worlds, the amount of people I spoke to, there's a big decision you have to make very early on in the Outer Worlds, inside the first 2 hours. And a lot of people I spoke to went through a lot of effort to try and come to a peaceful solution.
I know what you're talking about.
Amateurs.
I reckon you're talking about...
because
just
what
kill 'em all.
they do is they have factions, and if you shoot people in the face, it's like, well, you're ruining the game for yourself because everyone's going to hate you.
Yeah.
Playing it playing that bit on stream. I think this is the section you're talking about where you decide who runs the town.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to divert power away from one part of the town.
Yeah.
The way you played it, Chris, was horrendous.
It
Because
was the absolute correct way of doing it.
But your character was so underpowered by that point and low in skills and everything that it made it like horrendous. And then when I played it through myself, I played it completely differently, and I did it the most sort of peaceful way possible with diplomacy. I convinced everybody to be friends, but then when I did get into combat, I found it so much easier in my game because I'd leveled up.
We were easy because I had really good guns, but the only issue was I didn't have any health packs.
That was yeah. Whereas I had so many health packs when I was playing, it was ridiculous.
I remember tuning into that part of the stream and my mind being blown because in the morning. Because for anyone that doesn't remember, that was the day we did a very big live stream, with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Medieval, and Outer Worlds. And Chris, from the very first thing, was like, I really want to play Outer Worlds, guys. Like, can I? And we were like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, dude, Chris is really into this game. Yeah. So let's play some Call of Duty. And I tuned into the live stream for that part because I wasn't on screen. I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
Everyone's dead.
Chris has gone rogue.
Which was hilarious.
I guess you play it your way. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
The character, I can't remember her
And you
name.
can, which is nice.
You can.
Parvati.
Is it Is that how you say it? Parvati?
Yeah.
Parvati.
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 I say
Well,
Parvati.
three
Anyway,
people, three different... Whatever.
Call her Pepperoni.
Pepperoni. She got a lot of love. I can't remember who it was who does the voice, but she got a lot of love for the character and how the character was.
Yeah.
You didn't experience it because she ran away because you were a murderer.
Well, yeah.
I remember that part of the stream when she did this. She's like, I can't be part of this, and just runs
no,
and then
but
you killed her.
No, hold on.
I'm sure you killed her.
You're remembering it wrong. Jamie's dying from...
I'm sorry, I've
from
got the plague.
Tuberculosis. No, what happened was, when you recruit her, she joins you in that dude's office.
Yeah.
And I killed that dude, and I killed all of his officers, and I killed everyone else in the building. She was fine with it.
Right.
As soon as we got outside, she's like, "You're a madman. I'm leaving you." And I tried to shoot her, but she just fucking disappeared. I was like, "Well,
right."
fine.
So you never got to experience any of that. So for you, did she win the Game Awards as the best?
She was nominated for best performance or something like that.
Chris would have been like, "Why? She was only in it for 30 seconds."
No, it would have been that she died really well.
The actress who plays her is the actress who is in everything. I can't remember her name. It's like Laura Bailey or something like that.
Oh, right.
Who's just in every game ever.
Fair enough.
I'd also, if I can,
let's move
give
on.
a shout out to The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. It's kind of like a double bill.
Oh,
Purely
yes.
because it feels like they've been around for so long and in our consciousness for so long that when we look at the first half of next year, there are almost things that are slightly more exciting by virtue of them feeling more unknown.
Oh, like new and fresh.
Right. Like Half-Life Alyx and Cyberpunk and what have you. Where it's almost like The Last of Us 2 is such a known quantity because it's a sequel to The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's like, that game's... I think The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima will be amongst my games of the year.
Right.
Oh, undoubtedly.
But it's just this weird thing of I'm sure I'm...
But is it maybe because there's just an acceptance there? Where it's like, Last of Us Part 2. I'm going to play it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to love it.
There's an element of an acceptance, but I don't think that's going to hurt either game.
I'm interested you add Ghost of Tsushima into that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have looped
because
it in.
I know nothing about Ghost of Tsushima. Like I've seen obviously the stuff they've released, but I don't feel like I know what that's going to be.
Dude, technically this is only like the second trailer they've released for it.
That's true.
For me, like Last of Us Part 2, I completely agree, but I genuinely, with Ghost of Tsushima, I'm like, it looks incredible. At the same time, I'm like, I don't think this game's for me. Like everything I've seen of it, yeah, I feel like it's going to be something that will appeal to certain people and they will love it. But I'm like, I think maybe I got too excited.
If
about
it was
that
a
first
different
trailer.
developer, I would maybe understand it. But Sucker Punch, dude,
I don't know. I don't know anywhere near enough. Everything I see of it, I'm like, these are the sorts. It looks like the sort of game that I'm always like not that into, or I'm not very good at, and so I don't stick with it. But I just don't genuinely know.
You really liked like what was it? Infamous. Was it?
Yeah.
Not Second Son.
The Second Son was the PS4 one.
What was the light one?
First Light.
First Light.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I liked all of them except for the second one.
Jonesy played the PS3 ones. I don't know if you played Second Son.
I did, but I played it a long time after. I think I played it last year actually.
Yeah.
Did I lend it to you?
You may have done.
I remember you having not played it, me thinking I should just lend it to you.
Because I played the first one, loved it. Played the second one, hated it because it was awful. Then played Second Son, and then played the DLC, which is. I don't
know, man. I'm really amped for it, especially coming off the back of Sekiro, where it's like
I should be amped, but I feel like I know nothing.
Yeah, but so what?
I don't know. That's what
you're out for Half-Life Alyx.
But like you said, Last of Us 2, I feel like I know everything. And then Ghost of Tsushima, I'm like, I don't think I know anything. I don't think I could do anything with this game. And I'd be like, okay.
And there have been two trailers and a gameplay walkthrough.
So the gameplay walkthrough was the bit where you were on the rafters in the
that was quality. That was where I was like,
I jump down on the guy and
you fight three guys there. Then you have the big fight at the end in the leaves where the fire arrows come and start setting fire.
It looks so pretty, man. But I was like,
it looks phenomenal.
The big question mark for me with that gameplay was like, I don't know how you're going to control this game.
Exactly. That's my thing is how is it a me game or is it not a me? I don't know.
Control and maneuverability were I thought some of Infamous's strong points.
Yeah,
that's true. That's very true.
So I don't know. Yeah.
I'm benefited.
Although that is I'm terrible about publishers, developers, but so Infamous 2, the reason I stopped playing it almost straight away was because the controls were horrible.
It was the exact same as Infamous.
It was. I genuinely, it didn't feel it. To me, it just felt wrong. There's some weirdness to it that felt off.
I can't help you with that.
This is a while ago.
You need to talk to your doctor about that one.
All right.
This is a while ago.
I'll get some games out that I'm really excited for that I know you guys are not excited for.
Here we go.
There's 3 of them. I'm going to ring them out.
Welcome to the Japanese section of the podcast.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Because
never had a Dragon Ball Z. What are you talking about?
Well, Z. I fucking love Dragon Ball Z.
Is Goku in that one?
Goku, yes.
What about Gohan?
Gohan, yes.
Yeah, what about Piccolo?
Piccolo, yes.
Yeah, might play it.
You've just talked about 3 people, of which I've heard of one of them.
You haven't heard of Gohan or Piccolo?
No, I've the one that we play. Milo and I played on stream.
A
game.
You played like One Piece, dude.
You played Jump Force, maybe?
No, it wasn't Jump Force.
One Piece.
Wasn't it? Was it One Piece?
Yeah,
but didn't have one of those guys in it.
An anime guy.
I thought it was called Gokan. No, is he not?
No,
shows how much I'm into that.
But anyway, if you like Dragon Ball Z, that is going to be a great game. It's basically like Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which is one of the best games on the PS2.
Why did you just say that to begin with?
Budokai Tenkaichi 3, but in an open world. Anyway, then at the end of Jan, Warcraft 3 Reforged, which is the remaster that was meant to come out in December. Is that this month?
Is that like Warhammer?
Why don't you fuck off? You know exactly what Warcraft 3 is, you fucking douche.
Oh, it's like the one with the world, but without the world.
Exactly.
You craft wars, Jamie.
You craft a war.
Craft wars. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. If you guys were at all gamingly inclined and cultured, you would be excited for it too. Another one I'm excited for is Psychonauts 2. Doesn't have a release date yet, but it should be next year. And I loved the first Psychonauts. A very pleasant surprise.
Oh, yes. A pleasant 3D platformer from Double Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Right. Oh, yeah, perfect.
You joke about it, but yeah, it's one of those rare things that it is actually good because it's
I didn't say good. I said pleasant.
Pleasant.
Pleasantly good.
There is a weird thing though in that even the games I'm not that interested in, right? Like everything you just mentioned. You need those games in a year.
Oh yeah, padding.
Because a lot of people are into them, and if you didn't have those games and you just had the high ticket games, AAA titles, it would feel like a wrong year. It wouldn't feel right. So you need to have that broad brushstrokes.
Oh, you know what? Palette
around.
cleansers.
Yeah, and something to dip into here, something to play there. I might play Psychonauts too. I might do this. You don't always need to have these intense, high level.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Big games.
One game that is a big, intense, high level game that I'm not going to go anywhere near. Can you take a guess?
That you're not going to go anywhere near.
That you're not going to go anywhere near.
You can see the
Marvel's Avengers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm with you on that.
Oh, it looks so shit.
I'll play it. Fuck, why not?
I'm sure you would. You play everything.
A Crystal Dynamics developed Avengers game. I'll play it.
It looks like it might be trash.
Looks so bad.
Yes, it looks like it might be trash. So what? I'll play it.
You're in it anyway. Fair enough, mate.
Their faces don't look great. I'll grant you that much. And I think the combat doesn't look super satisfying, but they could build a good game around that.
They could. I mean, I say I'll never touch it. I will not buy it, but if all the reviews come out 10 out of 10 and Jamie's playing it and he's like, come on, let's form a squad, I'll be like, yeah, maybe.
I will reserve judgment until I know more about it.
I'm perfectly happy judging it now. It looks disgusting.
You're right. I think the issue I have with that is the issue that you guys mentioned with Dying Light 2 is that everything they've shown of it is that same bridge section where you kind of see a very limited scope of what the game's going to be. Yeah. And maybe I've judged it too quickly. It could be phenomenal. It could be an amazing game.
Yeah. There are talented people working on that game, and it's a big IP from a big publisher. And yeah, I need to see more before I trash it.
Part of me's like that wouldn't, because it is still, I guess Disney own it, right? They own the
yes,
so they are the ones who, so it's their IP.
Yeah, that's why it's Marvel's Avengers.
So that's what I mean. So then you have to say, would they put out a game? Knowing about the MCU and how everything's going with the movies and everything, would they put out a game which was trash? And some part of me is like, I mean, maybe not.
You say that, but
every MCU game before, with the exclusion, I guess, of Spider-Man was trash. The Captain America game was trash. The Thor game was trash.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just cash-ins,
but all
right?
the Iron Man game were trash.
Oh, they were so bad. Yeah. I remember I'm not sure which. I think it was the first Iron Man game. That was the thing that always worries me about any time they have flying in games. It's like Anthem. I was worried because it was looks kind of like the Iron Man game, which was
but funnily enough, the only good thing about Anthem was the flying.
They actually got that bit okay.
Yeah,
it felt right.
Yeah, it felt all right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk threes, all right?
Okay.
No More Heroes 3 and Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Resident Evil 3 is a given. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a report that came out saying that Resi 3 Remake is going to be shorter than Resi 2 Remake, which I find very interesting.
Okay.
But hey, whatever. No More Heroes 3...
I think we need to see more of that game.
Yeah, that's a weird one, because that fucking anime opener that they showed off, I was like, cool.
And what was the game that came out last year? The Travis Strikes
Again.
Travis Strikes Again. I don't think that left people with much confidence in the direction that series was heading on. Obviously, they're reversing course now and going back to the more kind of like open world design that they they relied on in the Wii era. I never had a huge amount of love for those games.
I liked them. They were fun. Well, because I had a Wii, so it's like, if you want a non-Nintendo game, where'd you go? No More Heroes.
I guess so,
sure.
I suppose so.
So I've got a soft spot for it.
Resident Evil 3, I've got a controversial opinion about, but I might save it because I think if we come around to questions, I think there might be a question that touches on it, but maybe not. Maybe not.
All right, yeah, but Resi 3 Remake, interesting. What else have I got on my list? Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Halo Infinite. So far, the only games confirmed to be next gen.
Say that again.
Oh, right.
Senua's Saga and...
Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Halo Infinite.
Yes, well, the only games confirmed to be Xbox Next Generation games. Of course, we know now that Godfall is coming to the PlayStation 5.
Oh, right, yeah.
If you want to pay attention to that weird fucking trailer from the Game Awards.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah.
Hellblade, I mean, I haven't played the first one, but I really want to. That's one that I really want to get, and especially before the second one comes out.
That's on the Switch.
Is it on the Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's also on Game Pass.
You're running out of excuses, Jonesy.
It's just one of those that I just, at the time, I didn't get, and I was like, I need to get it, I need to get it.
But that Hellblade 2 trailer was just like, dude, how is it looking like this? Like, I know in 5 years' time, it's going to be one of those things where, like, you know, when Lara Croft first came out, it's like, oh my God, the graphics are blowing my mind. It looks photorealistic. But that
they did that with the first one as well, didn't they? Like, it was incredible with the first one.
Oh, yeah, it was
when
incredible.
came out.
But you look at screenshots of the first one compared to the second one, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, the feeling at the
leaps
time
and
was
bounds.
we had
like,
the same thing. It was how have they done such a good job
It's
of those
insane.
graphics?
That
It's
face
insane.
was unsettling to a degree that I'm not necessarily comfortable with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? They're into the uncanny valley.
Even before that, like, just all of the, like, the geography.
Yes.
And it's just like, because obviously we know with Flight Simulator, they're using, like, Bing Maps for, like,
Azure.
Azure.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'll utilize some kind of thing with this.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking...
The only thing I worry about it is really kind of from a narrative sense that Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice was such a sort of internalized story of one woman's struggle with, you know, obviously mental health issues, as was much discussed, but also on a very personal journey that I felt had a surprisingly, I'm not going to say definitive ending, but had an ending.
It wrapped it up.
Yeah, an ending that made sense for her story.
Yeah.
And I don't know, how you necessarily make a sequel to that honors the first one and also doesn't throw the mental health stuff by the wayside.
Yeah.
I also don't know how you expand on it, because you'd expect bigger scale, you know, maybe a more elaborate combat system. I don't know how you do that stuff and also make it like, this felt like they were going for more of like a God of War-y, epic-y kind of like larger scale combat stuff, and that's not what that game was.
Can I tell you how you do it?
How?
With Microsoft money.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like go back to Hellblade, but why Senua?
Right, you see,
Yeah,
fair
fair
You know what they're
enough.
going to do?
She's a fucking paranoid schizophrenic who wrongly believes that she can bring her decapitated former lover back to life and is hallucinating like gods and monsters.
like
along
leave
the
it at
way,
that.
on the way to an ending, let's say.
Yeah.
And now you're going to bring her back? Like, what's the context?
I know it's going to happen. I know how they're going to do it.
Go on.
Opening scene.
Yeah.
It was all a dream.
Oh, don't even.
She used to read Word Up magazine. I don't know if you've heard.
Oh, right. Okay.
She did what?
Salt and Pepper and Harry Dev in the limousine.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
She used to hang pictures on the wall.
What are you talking about?
I love when Jonesy just gets so lost.
I've no idea what you're talking about. Let's move on.
Word Up magazine.
Living life without fear. Put 5 carrots in my baby girl's ear.
You've totally lost me.
Lunches, brunches, interviews by the pool. Considered a fool because she drops out of high school. Stereotypes of a white female misunderstood, but it's still all good.
I love it when you just start spouting lyrics. It's great.
It's probably the most famous rap song of all time.
No?
What is it?
It's Juicy.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
Let's move on, Chris.
Yeah, all right.
We just offended a lot of
Oh
portion
my
of the
god!
audience.
Oh my god! Well, we do apologize. Halo Infinite.
Also a next-gen game.
Yeah, but not a lot known about it. We've had 2 trailers for it. The one was showing off the world a little bit and a little helmet.
Yes.
And the second one was apparently in in-engine cutscene, but it did not show off anything.
No, it's all in one spaceship, right?
One spaceship. It showed off some ray tracing, sure, fine. You know,
But the Halo's back,
4K
right?
60. You're back on the Halo at least. And that's all
the
we know.
extent of my
That's
knowledge
the
about
name.
Halo.
Hey, Halo,
the
you're
full
back
name.
on a
Halo
Halo.
Infinite, there's a Halo this time.
The Halo's back.
The Halo's back.
It's like the Halo Infinite at least.
Oh, they should call it Halo. Halo's back, baby.
If there was one series that I've never gone anywhere near, but you feel like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm missing out, is the Halo series.
See, I've only ever played the first one, and I've played the multiplayer for some of the others.
I have played the single player and multiplayer of all of them. And I don't care for it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up. I mean, unless you want to talk about
It's going to be a good goddamn year.
it's going to be fucking
hell, it's gonna be a
amazing,
big
dude.
year, big ass year.
And capping it off with PS5 and Xbox.
Series X.
Well, Xbox Series X or Xbox,
Technically,
which they've
yeah,
kind of done
Technically Xbox.
yeah, they've turned it around. They're like, oh, we didn't mean to call it a Series X.
Oh,
That's
did they
not-
drop the Series X?
No, it's still there,
Yeah.
but it's more like that. What they're saying is
Just call it
Xbox, and then the Series
Yeah.
X is that particular model.
So basically, if the year after they release an Xbox Series S, then technically the Series thing would cancel each other out, and the name of the family of consoles would be the Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But
In the
it's
same way, the previous family was called the Xbox One, even though
Right.
there was an Xbox One S and an X.
I hate the way they do that.
Yeah,
with
it's
names.
still kind of fucking
PlayStation
stupid.
is so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but-
it annoyed me when they went Pro and Slim. I'm like, just keep the numbers, guys.
Oh, but they've had Slim from like it's
been a long
from
time.
PS1,
Yeah.
so
Maybe they could have just had like 1.5, 2, 2.5. Like, I would have been.
Ah, I'd
that'd
hated that.
That'd be trash.
Xbox fucked it when they jumped all the way to 360. What was that? all
that
about?
was that was.
They must be sitting there thinking, "Why the fuck did we do that? We should just be on the Xbox 4 by
Well,
now."
they should have been fun because then they could have done 720, but they didn't. They
Yeah.
went back to 1, and then from 720 they could have gone to 1080.
Doesn't it make
Xbox
you
full circle?
But
Doesn't
then
it
why
make
would you
you-
want to go 1080
three
if-
full circles?
if it's a 4K 60 machine? You wouldn't want
true.
to call it 1080.
It's true.
You know why they didn't call
That's
it
probably
Xbox 2?
Right? Why?
Because Xbox 2 came out when there was the PS3. So if you're looking on a shelf
Yeah.
and it
the
says
2 and the
Xbox
3.
2 or PS3, you'll go, oh, get the
So
PS
they did a 360. So they could add a 60 to the end of the 3. So you think it's more than 3.
more than 3.
Do you know what bugged me?
It worked on me. I bought one.
Do you know what bugged me about the 360 was like it's when people misquote the saying, they did a 180.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, they did a 360. You're like,
Yeah,
what?
it's
So
like-
they carried on exactly the way they were going originally.
They just turned around and are exactly where they were. Fine.
You mean 180? What are you talking
They
about?
did the 540.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
And then they fell over because they were dizzy.
540p. Hell yeah.
But have you? So that's the end of the games that are coming out. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously loads more games, but these are the notable ones, and the ones we're talking about.
I
There's
don't
a
know
lot
if
of
we've
there's a
got
lot of
time.
unknown, right? Like there's like Diablo 4 and all of that shit. But
Age of Empires 4.
Age of Empires 4, ooh, tasty, yes. But I thought these were the ones that we could probably talk about
Okay.
the most.
I
Yeah.
was going to chuck a couple of predictions that other people have made at you guys to see what you thought about.
Go on, do it.
Should we do it? Should we rattle through
Very
them?
quickly,
maybe,
'cause we've got
maybe we
some-
can do it quick fire.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick fire.
Yeah, do a quick fire because we do have some questions coming up. As you're getting that ready, I'm just going to say to everyone that if you're watching this so far, thank you so much for sticking through. Thank you so much for supporting us. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We do want to hear from you. You could also head on over to our Twitter page, which is @SuperShowPod, and eventually, once we get our fingers out of our assholes, it'll be on podcast platforms as well.
I'm never taking my finger out of my ass.
Well, I know because it's reek. All right, what you got?
So quick fire.
Okay.
For you guys to see your hot takes.
Okay, I'm ready.
About
My
these,
body is ready.
So these first few ones, these are from PC Mag.
Ceviche.
No.
No, okay.
Nintendo to release
Blancmange.
a more powerful Switch.
Sorry,
Yes.
what? Yes.
Yeah?
Switch Pro, yeah, sure.
Amazon buys Discord
No.
Ooh.
because they want the sweet money, so they're gonna.
I don't know enough about the business stuff.
I will
but
say that Discord will get acquired.
Okay.
Sure, why not Amazon?
I think this is a given. The PlayStation 5 is going to give 4K Blu-ray a big boost.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
Kind of how they had with the the Xbox PlayStation.
Yeah,
their
because
Blu-ray
the
versus
Pro,
HD
the Pro
DVD.
famously can't play 4K Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Capcom to announce a new Marvel game.
Capcom. Too.
Down the old Marvel
Like a
versus
fighting
Capcom
game.
fighting game, yeah.
Oh.
I think Infinite was a flop, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Okay. This could be the biggest one, but I could see them doing it because they've done it with stuff before. But Google to kill Stadia.
Not this year, no.
No?
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about how long Google Plus was around and nobody fucking used that, and then they had to tie your fucking YouTube accounts to Google Plus just to make it relevant.
Oh, that was horrendous when they did that, wasn't it?
Love
It's
you- love you, YouTube. Thanks for 2,000
The
subs.
Glass, the fact that they got the Google Glass.
Google Glass,
was
but there's
gonna
now
be
they've
a
got
thing.
another Google Glass, which is for enterprise or something or whatever.
Yeah, what a way to still try and ship
yeah.
those units. Well, sell them to business. Someone will need them.
All right,
And
what
the
else?
last one for that is another kill off. Nintendo to finally kill off the 3DS.
Not formally.
So they'll just maybe stop
I
developing.
don't think
things
they
for it.
cease production. I just think games dry up.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, it's annoying that I've just had to agree with you on most
Well,
points.
then you
it
go.
was only
fir-
the Discord
You
point.
go first on the next few then.
All right, so these are, and then we've got a
All
couple from GameSpot to finish it off.
Okay.
But this is for Jamie. To be fair, EA will relaunch Anthem in 2020. Jamie's betting on this because he's bought the game in the
I know.
Friday
I know what I
sales.
think.
God, I'm going to say no. I think they'll abandon it eventually.
I think yes. I think they're going to have one last big shot at it.
You hope, otherwise that £5 was badly spent.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite will actually be good.
Yeah, I'll say yes.
I agree.
EA to announce a Mass Effect remaster.
There's been rumors. I don't see why. Oh, hold on. Let me think about this for next year
For
specifically.
next year specifically.
I'll say no. I'll say they're gonna focus on Dragon Age before they get to Anthem re-releases.
I agree with Chris. I think there's a slim possibility. I think the caveat in my mind is that how close attention are EA paying to Activision and what Activision have done with Crash and Spyro.
Yeah,
and might continue. But I agree with Chris. I think no. I want it, but no.
Okay. 2 to finish us off. So Game Freak to announce more Pokemon added to Sword and Shield after the ire of the fans after not all of them were included in
I don't think they will.
Sword and Shield. I don't think they will either. And to finish it off, something that they definitely should do if it's not already being planned, but Nintendo to launch a Game Boy Classic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
I'd enjoy that. I think that would be a fun little thing for them to
I'll say no. I think they're done with their classics for now.
But let me just say for the audience, if you would like to give your hot takes on any of those predictions, let us know in the comments down below. And then you'll have a nice place to keep those comments and your predictions, and then you can check later in the year and you can see if you were right.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Were you better than Chris and Jamie at your hot takes?
Probably.
Okay, so I've got 4 questions here from our Discorders.
Ooh, okay.
So lovely Discorders. Zero asks, PC or console, which is best? PC, obviously.
Yeah, it's PC.
You can't argue it. It's PC.
No, see, the only reason I would argue is because it depends what you mean by best, right? The PC is better for gaming in general, sure, because it's more powerful, blah, blah, blah. However...
No, you're right. When I want to work on a spreadsheet, I work on a PS4.
However...
When I want to browse the net, send an email, watch a YouTube video, watch a movie...
I'm talking gaming specifically.
Skype a friend...
But you just said that gaming specifically, the PC is obviously better. Yeah, you literally just said that.
No,
He's done
so
you
what,
there.
what's left?
No, hold on. Let me say. Yes, so it's better. They're obviously better at running games, and they look the best they're going to look on a PC.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving all the PC specific stuff to one side. But then for me, the one thing that consoles always win out at is their ease of use and the fact that you literally pick up your controller, push a button, and you're playing with inside of 30 seconds.
This is fair.
And it's already pre-tied to your TV and your surround sound system and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's
it's getting more and more complicated, right?
The line is definitely blurring.
Like,
sure,
you need this account and you need this subscription to play online, and then if you play this online game that needs another account. It's like exactly the services and stuff are just merging in.
It's massively blurred over the years. So
PC's better.
Objectively you're right. Objectively you're right. But for me, it was always a case of when I was younger as well. If I wanted to play plug and play, the SNES was ready to rock. If I wanted to play a game on my,
those are two. Something and something words I haven't had in ages. Ready to rock and plug and play.
Plug and play.
It was you literally were ready to go. If you wanted to play a game on your PC, it was like, your Sound Blaster needs updating. Its sound card's not working. You need to change the direction.
It's not like that anymore.
It's not like that anymore. But there's still some elements of that. Sometimes.
But it doesn't matter.
We touched on it earlier with Chris recording at 12 frames a second because he couldn't play the game.
Because he had the world's worst laptop.
That was
but you know for the life of your console that is not going to happen.
That's not true.
But in that sense, it's not going to happen. You're not going to run a game which is unplayable. So someone might release a game which is shit and they've not optimized it very well. But it's not. It shouldn't happen.
Anyway.
Let's say that.
Yeah, you just spent a long time clarifying something you agree on us on.
No, I don't know if I do.
Okay. Say console then.
Well, I don't know because I don't want to pick.
Jonesy, look me in the eye and say the word console.
I want to sit on the fence.
Say the words consoles are better.
No, because I don't believe it.
Then get over yourself.
I want to sit on the fence.
No, you're a cuck. All right,
I'm going to go right down the middle.
All right. Pendulum said, should games still utilize slot port features to include mechanics like the fight in Metal Gear Solid with Psycho Mantis, i.e. switching the controller port to the second player slot? I think it's a bit of a...
No,
yeah, I've always hated
the reason I included it is because I get the idea. Because obviously there's no slots anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You've got wireless controllers, whatever. But I do like the idea...
change your wireless connection to the one that's just appeared on your...
Yeah, can you plug the USB into the other USB slot and sign out on this controller? Psycho Mantis is like, sign out of this controller and plug in this controller.
Create a user with this name. And
as
like,
a
no.
guest, you don't need to sign into PSN, but then it won't track your trophies.
Do you know where that stuff's great? ARGs. You want weird stuff around games which like doesn't quite. You want to feel special, or you want to do some weird DLC or finds a weird Easter egg.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, obviously, it's a redundant question because slot ports not around anymore. But what is cool is games fucking with people in weird ways, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
A lot of it just feels like a novelty, and I'm not that into it.
I like it, like Eternal Darkness quality. Anyway, moving on. Angus McChilly.
I was like 7 when I played Eternal Darkness. So,
and look how much it fucked you up.
Yeah.
So there we go. Angus McChilly, good old chilly one from the Discord. When will the Chris on a Bike episode be filmed? Never. And can it be beside a river? No. Or any other body of water? No. So
Sounds like a Patreon.
I'd love to see what would happen.
stretch goal. What, me learning how to ride on a bike?
No, because part of me thinks that if you put you on a bike, you're an adult, so you should just be able to ride it. Like, it's not that hard. But then part of me's like, no, of course,
I'll
if you
fall
can't
over.
ride,
Yeah, I'll
you'll fall over.
Yeah.
I just love
Like
it.
I know the mechanics of it. Move forward so that you can stay upright.
How about this? How about you don't have to learn to ride the bike. We just see what happens when we put you on one.
That's a Patreon stretch goal for a Patreon that we haven't launched yet.
As
so-
in, I'll bring my bike in.
Yeah.
We just put you on it, and then we just do a countdown and just let go, and we just see what happens.
But then obviously I'll fall.
But I don't know.
I'll put my leg out.
Would you even know where to put your feet?
Yeah, on the pedals.
I don't know what would happen. It's like if I pushed you in
I think
water.
you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Maybe I am. I don't know.
It's just that I'm not going to be, because I just don't know how to balance myself on a bike. That's the only thing.
He would figure out eventually, but the sense of balance, like the kind of the immediate knowledge of like how to shift your weight.
guess
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
It's
Something that I've
That's
never
why
done.
That's why kids spend years with stabilizers.
It's as weird to
Yeah.
me as when I went swimming with a mate of mine, and he didn't tell me that he couldn't swim. And we went swimming, and then we got in, and he just
And he
kind
drowned,
Of,
and he's dead now.
No, we were
Rest
in the
in peace.
shallow bit, and he just splashed about. And then I was like, "What are you doing?" And
Doggy
he went,
paddling.
"I think I've forgotten how to swim." And I was like, "You what?
You either
don't
know it or you don't
forget."
know it,
I was
yeah.
like, "You can't forget. You should do it. You don't." And he went, "I don't know if I ever learned then."
That's brilliant.
It's weird. They're very strange.
Oh man. Okay, and the last question. This is a good question. Supern says, "We've had Under the Sea and A City in the Sky, but if you
Oh.
can, speculate on where you would like to see BioShock 4.
Space
where do you think
station.
it'll be?" Ooh. But then that's System Shock, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they and Prey, I feel like also kind of like
Yeah.
take a little.
To-
I gotta say, I love this question, but
It's
part of the reason I
great.
love it is because I just don't have a good answer for it. Maybe Underground.
Oh yeah, maybe like deep mining. Oh no, but then it's okay. Yeah, underground. That's a good shout then.
But I don't know what it looks like. Maybe it's something else entirely.
Yeah, maybe it's like a
What else could you
a
have?
modern civilization, like in the forest or something, like hidden, like
Like a treehouse community.
yeah, but like almost like M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Could be interesting.
I get. And
Yeah,
also
I can see
all this
that.
is
A lot of verticality coming into it
Yeah,
because they do love a bit of that. Zipping around on
Zipping
stuff.
around.
there's a lot of zipping around.
Zippity
in the
doodah.
internet, that's for sure.
Need to zip.
It's a great. Honestly, I can't wait to see what they do with it. I just hope I'm not disappointed.
yeah.
Like,
well,
just
it's,
don't go back to Rapture. Basically,
it's probably still
Don't
going to
go
be
back to
years
Rapture.
years away, right?
Probably, yeah, like a couple of years away at least.
Oh, what about
That game's going to look gorgeous.
what about like
New
a James
systems.
Bond style Evil Lair on a volcanic island?
Something almost like a little bit Far Cry. I don't know. I don't know if that'll be.
But I feel like if you're going to bother finding the Bioshock 4 version of
Yeah.
Rapture or whatever, then you have to have the kind of this idea of a failed society that
Yeah.
tried to split itself off from ours.
I
That's
re-
what
I-
they all were, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I think would actually be really nice is imagine like an open world city, like let's just say London or New York, all right? But the thing about it was a secret society within that city. So almost like if you imagine like Freemasons have all these like Freemason lodges and all this like mystery around it. Like maybe that could be a way of saying like you say keeping that idea and theme of a failed society and trying to better humanity and this, that, the other. But you could still take our themes, and then it's almost like the butting of heads against that secret society and the real world around them.
Okay.
Because all these other ones have been like, oh yeah, we've just ran away from normal civilization.
we took some land and we just pissed
Yeah,
off.
we did our own thing.
Yeah.
And there's been none of that kind of like pushback. So I think
Right.
that could be an interesting way of doing it.
I think they'll just go super novel and, like you said, they'll just have something like underground or in space or something.
Maybe you get stranded on a desert island and it's like lost. It's like, oh, it's not actually deserted.
But the weird thing, anything like that is going to be too open world. Because they're much
Yeah.
more about like corridors and small controllable
I've
level
got
areas.
it. There's a bureau called the Bureau of Control.
And you've got telekinetic powers.
Yeah. And the game takes place in the Bureau's offices.
Is there a weird Scandinavian janitor who gives you his headphones.
Yes, there is. How did you know? Have you been reading my documents?
I think I can
Have you
read-
been reading my dream diary
Reading
again?
your mind.
Fucking hell.
I'm going to underground. I think it would be the one because
Okay.
they can have. You can then go into some really close like corridors and things, quite intense stuff, and then you open out into a giant cavern where you can. They've got some verticality and you can move around, and you got weird ways of going up. And I could see that.
What about like a maybe a bit too close to Prey, but like a moon colony or something?
Something like that would be wicked if they did that.
I mean, it could work.
Possible.
Because that totally fits in with the idea that they, like the Nazis from the moon.
Oh, yeah.
It fits in with that kind of thing that they were pissed
What was
off
it?
to the
Iron
moon.
Sky or whatever.
Iron Sky, yeah. They hit the moon. Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, that about wraps it up for today's episode. I don't think we're going to have another episode until the new year.
Yeah,
No.
It, at the time of recording it is less than a week till Christmas, so
So, if you're listening to this after Christmas, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. If you're listening to it before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And indeed, a fantastic new year. And let's make 2020 our bitch. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on SuperShow Podcast and follow us on Twitter at SuperShow Pod. And, we'll release some more socials, etc. as we
Yes.
go along.
Chris will be tweeting on Christmas Day 'cause, nothing better to do this, huh?
Well, I've got to run away from the family somehow.
Up to 2.7k subs, guys.
Woo!
We'll be up to 3.5 by then.
Yeah, that's optimistic.
If there's any justice in the world.
All right, Lamar.
If there's any. And with that, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
See ya. Bye.
See ya.